GMC just built a six-figure Yukon that humiliates the Escalade in a color nobody saw coming. This changes the entire luxury SUV conversation. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what GM is doing with the Denali sub-brand and why this limited edition tells us more about GM's future strategy than any press release. There's one design decision inside this cabin that I believe crosses a line GM has never crossed before, and it has nothing to do with screens. And is a six-figure Yukon worth your money when an Escalade is right there? My answer might surprise you. We're going to cover the exterior treatment, that remarkable interior, and the powertrain math. But first, I've been hearing that this limited edition came out of GM's Middle East and Asian luxury division, not Detroit. And that origin story explains everything.
What stands out to me is the color, that deep burgundy metallic. It's not a production color you've seen on any current Yukon. This is GM making a deliberate play for the luxury buyers in the Gulf states, Southeast Asia, and increasingly the American South, where darker jewel tones signal serious money. Now, here's what's interesting. Those multi-spoke chrome wheels, they look like 24-inch turbine-style units. Paired with the chrome-heavy front fascia, create a visual language closer to a Bentley Bentayga than a traditional American SUV. That's not accidental. My opinion, this is GM testing whether the Denali name can support a standalone luxury tier above Escalade for certain markets. And based on what I'm seeing, they're right to try. The full-size luxury SUV segment above $100,000 grew 34% last year globally. GM needs a piece of that. Here's the first engineering detail worth watching. Sources suggest this limited edition runs an advanced version of the Air Ride adaptive suspension with what I'm calling predictive road scanning. The system uses LiDAR data from the Super Cruise array to precondition the dampers for surface changes before the wheels reach them. The hardware already exists on every Super Cruise-equipped Yukon. It's a software integration play. But that exterior is just the wrapping paper. Wait until you see what's inside. Open that door and the first thing you register isn't the leather, it's the color. Deep oxblood burgundy and ivory cream, diamond-quilted throughout with gold-toned Denali badging and gold contrast stitching on every panel. The steering wheel is wrapped in color-matched burgundy leather. The headliner is ivory, even the carpet is burgundy. This is the design decision I mentioned at the top. GM has never committed to a full monochrome interior like this on a Yukon. Every surface, seats, door cards, center console, dash wrap follows the same two-tone burgundy and cream palette. That takes confidence because there's nowhere to hide cheap materials when everything matches. Now, I want to be straightforward about something. The second-row executive captain's chairs with the Denali embroidery, the flip-up armrests, and the power adjusters, those are genuinely remarkable in this color combination. They look like first-class airline seats. But for anyone who sat in a Navigator Black Label with that 30-way perfect position seating, GM seats still don't have the same depth of adjustment. That gap is narrower than it was 2 years ago, but it's still there. Here's where the tech earns its keep. That widescreen dashboard layout runs the full width, instrument cluster flowing into the 16.8-inch center touchscreen. Physical HVAC knobs remain, and the center console gets its own dedicated climate and seat control display. If you're commuting an hour each way in Dallas or Houston traffic, that layout matters. You can reach everything without taking your eyes off the road for more than a second. Now, here's the second piece of technology that ties back to the backstory. Sources suggest this limited edition is equipped with what I'm calling biometric cabin personalization. The truck uses the interior-facing driver attention camera, already present for Super Cruise, to identify who's driving and automatically load their complete preference profile. Not just seat and mirror position, but preferred ambient light color, climate zone temperatures, audio presets, even suspension mode. The reasoning is sound. Every sensor needed already exists in the vehicle. Where I think they missed the mark is the rear entertainment. Dual 12.6-inch screens for the second row are competitive, but the Grand Wagoneer offers individual screens with independent streaming, and at this price point, GM should match that. Remember that design decision I mentioned? The one that has nothing to do with screens? That full commitment to a monochrome luxury palette is what separates a limited edition from a trim level, and that matters when we get to the price.
Now, everything I've shown you so far is genuinely impressive. The color, the interior commitment, the tech integration. But here's what most people are going to miss. The real story isn't inside the cabin or on the exterior. It's in the engineering that sits underneath. And that's where the limited edition earns, or doesn't earn, its price tag.
Let's look at the design language critically. At 210 inches long and 81 inches wide, the proportions haven't changed from the standard Yukon, but the treatment has. That front grille is an entirely different piece, a horizontal chrome bar design with deeper dimensional depth than the standard Denali mesh. The headlamp housings are reshaped with more angular chrome surrounds, and the lower fascia picks up a body color splitter with chrome accent trim. The rear tells its own story. Vertically oriented tail lamps with chrome bezels, integrated chrome exhaust outlets, and a chrome applique spanning the liftgate. This is not the blacked-out trend. This is old-school American luxury, unapologetically bright. Those wheels deserve attention. Multi-spoke chrome turbine units, likely 24-inch with low-profile rubber. They're a deliberate callback to the coach-built luxury aesthetic. The design choice will age differently depending on who you ask. My assessment, in the markets GM is targeting with this edition, this is exactly right. But design means nothing without the right powertrain. The Denali Ultimate runs the 6.2-liter V8, 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque, 10-speed automatic. For context, 45 more horsepower than a base Expedition, and the torque delivery is notably smoother than Ford's twin-turbo V6 at highway speeds. Here's the third engineering detail, and this is what ties the limited edition together. Strong indications that GM is developing a 48-volt mild hybrid layer for this V8 in select markets. A belt starter generator adding 25 to 30 pound-feet of supplemental torque off the line, smoothing cylinder deactivation transitions, and recovering braking energy for the 48-volt electrical net. The reasoning is straightforward. This truck already runs Super Cruise, night vision, massaging seats, and a 22-speaker Bose system simultaneously. The electrical demand on the existing 12-volt architecture is at its limit. Max towing, 8,200 pounds. That's behind the Wagoneer's 10,000-pound rating, but ahead of the Navigator. If you tow a boat on weekends, the air ride keeps squat to a minimum. For anyone who's driven a Navigator, this feels different. More character, less refinement. That V8 note still matters to this buyer.
Now, here's what I actually think, and I'm going to be completely straightforward. This limited edition isn't competing with the Escalade. It's competing with the idea that you need an Escalade. And for the right buyer, that's a more interesting proposition. Here's why.
The Denali Ultimate starts at $103,300. A limited edition with this exterior treatment, the exclusive interior palette, and the full technology suite, expect $110,000 to $115,000 depending on the market. Fully loaded with the executive rear seating package, panoramic roof, and Super Cruise, you're approaching $120,000. For real-world context, a comparably equipped Escalade Premium Luxury starts at $107,000 and a Platinum at $119,000. For what a mid-spec Escalade costs, you're getting this with an exclusive color and interior combination the Escalade doesn't offer. Ownership costs. Insurance runs higher than a standard Denali, roughly $3,200 to $3,800 annually. Depreciation on limited editions has historically been favorable. Exclusivity holds value. Pros and cons. First, the interior color commitment. This burgundy and cream palette is, in my opinion, the most distinctive cabin GM offers across any nameplate right now. No Escalade color combination matches it for visual impact. Second, the Bose Performance Series audio with those dedicated door panel speakers is genuinely excellent. In a cabin this size, the acoustic staging is a serious achievement. Third, value positioning. You're getting near Escalade equipment at a price that undercuts the Escalade Platinum by meaningful money. But I want to be honest about the trade-offs. If you're coming from a Navigator Black Label, the seat comfort and adjustment range still favor Lincoln. GM has closed the gap but hasn't matched it. Fuel economy, 14 city, 18 highway with the 6.2. The Sequoia Hybrid does better. Your commute will cost you. And the software reliability question still lingers. Longtime GM truck owners appreciate the ride quality and the tech, but they'll rightfully ask why OTA updates still cause occasional issues. Here's the full picture. This limited edition is GM's answer to a specific buyer, someone who wants Escalade-level presence without the Escalade badge in a color and interior combination that feels genuinely exclusive. The backstory makes sense. GM's International Luxury Division identified that the American full-size luxury market wants differentiation, not just trim levels. If you want a full-size luxury SUV that nobody else in your neighborhood is driving, this is the answer. If outright seat comfort matters most, the Navigator is still your truck.
Remember that burgundy exterior we opened with? The one that felt like GM was crossing into territory they'd normally reserve for Cadillac? After everything we've covered, the interior commitment, the engineering underneath, the strategic pricing, that color isn't just a paint option, it's a signal. GM is telling us the Denali name is worth more than they've been charging for it. And this limited edition is the proof of concept. I'd genuinely love to hear your perspective, especially if you've been cross-shopping the Escalade or the Navigator. Drop your thoughts below. And if you want to see how this compares to the Black Edition we covered recently, that video is right here. If this kind of real, no-nonsense automotive analysis is what you're looking for, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.